Welcome to America This Week, United We Stand. I'm Eric Bolling. America in the year 2020 feels like a movie, a horror film. States across the nation constantly seem to break daily infection records of coronavirus. Violent crime is spiking in our cities from coast to coast. It almost doesn't feel real, but folks, it is. Historic statues across the nation have been the center of both debates and violent protests. Now even Homeland Security has a police force protecting them. Joining me now to provide more insight is the Secretary of the Interior, David Bernhardt. Thank you so much, Secretary, for joining us. You are probably the most difficult person to book because everyone wants to talk to you. Tell us what's going on with the state of our statues in America and the police protections and the federal protections of our statues.
Well, let me be very clear and say the President has taken bold action after watching these criminal elements try to rip the history from the fabric of America. And the President has done two very significant things. The first thing he's done is basically given federal agencies like our own clear direction and a big notice to the criminals. And it goes like this: you mess with our statues and monuments, and your crimes will be completely investigated. The full force of the federal law will be brought to bear. The full power of the federal government will be brought to bear. And we will track you down, and we will prosecute you. And if we're successful, your penalties will be very, very severe, both criminally and civilly. He sent that clear direction. And then on top of that, he gave me the authority to have additional support at our nation's monuments and memorials to prevent this type of activity. On top of that, he's done something incredibly extraordinary, and that is he has said, beyond prosecuting, we need to reaffirm America's ideals and principles. We need to recognize that America's greatness stems from the sacrifices of the past and recognize the exceptional individuals who have contributed great things to America, whether it's philosophy and law or music and in the arts. And so he's designated a task force of federal agencies to work together to create a National Garden of American Heroes, also ensure that we're restoring and returning statues and monuments that are destroyed, and providing education about the fundamental ideals
Secretary,
that we embrace.
I want to get in here because I have a couple of questions. I don't have a lot of time. One of the questions, you talk about full force of the federal government and you know, in the penalty phase of this. What someone pulls down a statue, you got them clear, they're convicted of it. What type of penalty will they see?
Well, they can face up to 10 years in 10 years in federal prison for willfully destroying a statue. And look, these folks are very organized. They show up with tools, they show up with paraphernalia, they act in an organized manner. We will be able to demonstrate their intent. And so you're looking at 10 years jail time in a federal prison. That is not jaywalking.
Yeah. Sir, also, you know, are there any statues, let's be a little fair and unbiased here, are there any statues that are offensive and should be removed? Not pulled down, but removed. What are your thoughts?
Well, my view is that we have a whole host of monuments and memorials in America, and there is a process for determining whether people would like to modify a monument, put up a new one, or change it, or even get rid of it. And that process generally for stuff that we deal with, that process is Congress providing direction on what to do with a particular memorial or monument. That is the way our Constitution ensures that that people have a right to petition their government, and the government makes these decisions. It's important to recognize that most of these monuments were placed on the ground after careful deliberation by Congress and by similar acts. And so we certainly can modify monuments, we can talk about changing them, we can eliminate them, but we need to do it in a way that's lawful and not just simply by the mob or by Dave Bernhardt deciding to take one down. That's completely inappropriate.
Very, very quickly, sir, only about a half a minute or so. I will tell you, we do this thing on the show where people call in. I have a call-in number, and I'll get 400 or 500 phone calls a week. And anytime this topic comes up, it just explodes. People are so, I had no idea. Did you have any idea the amount of interest that the statues and the pulling downs of statues would generate?
So I am a firm believer that the president really is in sync with the American people. And the reality is that people are outraged as they watch our founding fathers ripped from our soil. That's completely inappropriate. It's not America, and America is responding to that.
All right,
and so is the President. Secretary
of the Interior, we appreciate your time. Also, by the way, we want to throw in there national parks. Man, what a place. Go out and visit those.
Absolutely.
That's under that man's jurisdiction as well. We have the best in the world. Go out and see a national park. Yep. David Bernhardt, thank you very much, Secretary.
Thank you.